It's the NFL on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Kansas City Chiefs and the New Orleans Saints. All that and more coming up next.
The first opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Kansas City Chiefs and the New Orleans Saints. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at... Kicker for the Saints, Will Lutz has it teed up, and here we go from New Orleans. This taken in at the goal line. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And simply put, for many, he's the gold standard for quarterbacks in today's NFL because of his ability to create, find the open man, use all the different arm angles that he has. He's a complete package, and boy, his team loves to play around him.
Right to the air is Mahomes. "23 yards on the tuck and run."
I am willing to bet that he got a monster grin on his face when he saw what was happening. Man coverage was so committed to denying a big throw that it pulled attention away from him, and he had an easy lane to hit, and hit it he did.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a Louisiana native to start here by LSU. It's Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And taken down just shy of the 40.
Not the kind of game that will go absolutely crazy for him, but it's the kind of game that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
That one good for 12 yards in a Kansas City first.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. Well, he's already shown on this opening drive that he will run the football. We know that about him, Charles, so maybe when he gets outside the pocket, the defense a little wary about the run, and he's able to convert the pass.
And that wariness will often cause you to be a step or two slow. And sometimes you get so focused on will he or won't he run the football, you forget that there are receivers in your area, and they find themselves open, and there's another completed pass.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They go play fake. Mahomes. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. We've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Now here's Mahomes. Steps away. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 15-yard line. A nice pickup of 10 means that this drive will stay on track.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
David Onyemata there on the tackle. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, your front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play. Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing 3rd down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Mecole Hardman, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Chiefs get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Andy Reid never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2. Mahomes will throw for it. And he will get in to make it 8-0. So what do you make of that? You go on the road, you score the opening drive touchdown, opt to go for 2, and all of a sudden they're up 8-zip.
Yeah, this wasn't a decision that they made right here and right now. They made this decision during the week. Hey, if we get the ball and score right away, let's show them that we feel like we're superior. Go for 2 and really put the pressure on them.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. It's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2015 out of Florida State, Jameis Winston.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. He'll find its tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. The first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 38. Here's Winston. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. I certainly know that I, for one, would not like to be on the other end of a tackle when this guy's coming at you full speed from his strong safety spot. Boy, that was a nice play.
And you can just see that whole play developing. That's where, as a defender, you just lock in on your target and say, I'm not even thinking about breaking stride. I'm running straight for the belt buckle, because where it goes, that's where you find his body. And he's able to get in there and make a great play.
On 2nd down, and he coughed it up, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
And able to use his blockers to get this up to the 40. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Throwing now is Mahomes. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your line and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely, because remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there.
Now, that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open? And when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a 1st down.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It's only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down, a 21-yard gain.
This guy's proven himself to be one of the best in the NFL. He brings an added dimension to their offense with his ability to read defenses and know when he's able to pull it down and take off and go.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. Forced out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Trying to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's a loss of 8 yards there to bring up 3rd. Here's Mahomes to throw. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up the 4th down.
Well, one of the things we talked about coming into this was we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
Yellow, yellow.
Mahomes going to go on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on 4th down. And the Saints will have the football back. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They begin on the ground with Kamara. He'll get this to about the 38.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 38, Winston drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill him for a loss.
On 3rd down, Winston dancing to his left. And Winston lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. CD, that's the 2nd time this half they've put it on the carpet. Now, the first one they lost. Good news here, it doesn't cost them.
They do say that things even out in the course of a ball game. So you mentioned they lost the first one. This time, able to retain possession, but they can't get into this habit. The ball can't continue to go on the ground.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
Mahomes going to throw. And he's going to go down again. Marcus Davenport drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes on the move to his left. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface. But I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need. So maybe that's what influenced him there. I'm guessing because I have no other explanation.
Yeah, that's tough. Own side of the field, that chunk of yardage to pick up. Head scratcher. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. It's a loss of 5 there on the sack to bring up 2nd and goal. 1 quarter down, 8-0 the score. Ready for the 2nd quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they come up now 2nd and goal. Another try after the first down sack. Winston. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
3rd and goal. Winston. And he's he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
That's George Karlaftis, who fought his way through the line to bury him.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on third down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
Winston to the sideline here on fourth down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try.
This will be a 34-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good. And they get on the board, trailing now 8-3.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
And the Chiefs now getting set to go.
They're coming off a fourth down gamble that last drive that backfired, CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they want to do is play off the momentum the defense gave them. Only giving up the 3 points in that situation after they failed on fourth down. Now they want to make it pay off. They want to pay homage to the defense and have their own drive pay off in points for themselves.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
A shotgun snap, and again to Edwards-Helaire.
And he'll be brought down here at the 28. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. Mahomes throwing on 4th. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And that will force a turnover on downs. So shall we say a bold decision to go for it, and that bold decision does not pay off.
And when you talk about bold, you're saying all caps?
All caps.
Yeah, without a doubt. Maybe they're telling their defense they have a lot of faith in them. I mean, that's how you have to spin it, is that you tell your defense, you know something? We were able to go for it there because you guys are so good. I'm not worried about things. That's the only explanation I can come up with in this situation.
He better get ready to spin it for that post-game presser because you know he's going to be after.
He's going to have to spin it for his own locker room, frankly.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Winston to give, it's Kamara.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now Winston. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Hill. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef, that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now on third down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Throwing, Winston. Touchdown, Saints! Michael Thomas rolling in the Jameis Winston throw. Taking the lead. On that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
And they'll accept that penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Chiefs offense ready to go again. As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on fourth down in their own territory, didn't get it, and then that led to a touchdown on the other side.
And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it. But I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because the reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up, and they gave the touchdown that was just given up.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it's a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go. That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his fourth down call.
They'll go. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he's got room. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did, that they were lining up just to draw them off sides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for it the entire time. Never a question in his mind about going ahead and getting it, despite where they were on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it in my voice when they snapped the ball. I was like, oh, I almost wasn't ready to call the play. I just kept waiting for the timeout offensively. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Being chased out left. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Well, you don't expect too many quarterbacks to be adept at breaking away from would-be tacklers, but this is uncommonly good right here as he's able to get away.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. Not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
Sliding out of the pocket, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan, that is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback.
And pressure gets to him again. Cameron Jordan, 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys,
And look at this. It's a fake. And this is caught. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. The fake punt gets him 13 yards. A huge play on special teams. It's a first down.
Okay, that was a fake punt, and it was successful. Throwing the football. I know you threw the football in your past off of a fake.
Yeah, but unsuccessful back in my high school days. Old Tim Jones dropped it, hit him right in the numbers. But I'll tell you what, these guys, they love this opportunity, don't they? A chance to get involved.
They certainly do, and many of them were quarterbacks or big-time players when they were in high school and college. So to get back doing what they did before, always fun.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Whenever you see a quarterback break contain, just think to yourself, the receivers on that side of the field, their number one job, make sure they get in his sight line so he can try and find someone downfield. Guys on the backside, make sure you don't give up the deep ball. They tried it there. They weren't able to connect.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now two straight incompletions. Have them look at it 3rd and 10. Now Mahomes.
That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch.
His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire.
And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints' 13-yard line.
66 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great. With the offense, they can't be despondent.
The New Orleans offense set to take over.
They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll be taken down at the 18. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
On play action, Winston. And it's incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To throw, Winston. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. Former first-rounder Clyde Edwards-Helaire ready to go here. They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen and put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Certainly a rarity for all but an elite couple of quarterbacks in this league to have a 100-yard day on the ground. Heck, even running backs don't hit the mark as often as they used to. Nice to see them keep calling his number once they saw he was in line for a special game.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Marcus Davenport. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
If they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him up. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15. A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Buying time to his left. And this one is incomplete. On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And it'll be a turnover on downs. There are times to run that fake, and there are times to not run it, and this, without question, would fall in the latter category.
Well, I don't know about without question, partner. I think we should look at the analytics on this one because, oh, yeah, the analytics say, yeah, without question. You should have gone ahead and punted the football because now, not only did you not get it, and you really had no chance to, what a short field that you turned the ball over to the other offense.
There on the stop was Leo Chanel. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop the jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball across the plane. Was not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Kamara looking for a signal, but none forthcoming. They stopped him shy of the goal line. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Kamara trying again, and not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
This has not been a fun sequence for him at all. 1st and goal, no gain. 2nd and goal, he ends up losing yardage. He may be trying to talk him into getting the ball 3rd time, but I think it's going to be difficult for him to win that battle.
This is 3rd and goal. This Chiefs defense, they're giving it all they got. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try.
From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Lutz is good, and it's now 13-8.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. The Chiefs going to go back on offense here late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, we'll see if they want to try to put a drive together, possibly even take the lead here with a touchdown.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. He'll get just a yard on the scramble at 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front. They're prepared for him to try and take off.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes rolling to his left. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. For the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. This time they stay on the ground, and he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here we go, 4th down, Mahomes. Now he'll let it go on the run, deep left side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. First down, Winston. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 48. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for Kansas City. And they've had their way running the football, well over 100 yards already as a team with 2 more quarters to come. Meanwhile, for the Saints, the rushing numbers tell a different story. They really couldn't get a whole lot going on the ground. And the evidence? The numbers. Both teams going through their final halftime adjustments. We're about ready to get back to football. And to bring you the second half from the Superdome, let's go back to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, in the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
A big-time play there for New Orleans. 41 yards.
So when's the best time to take the big shots downfield? When you think a defense least expects it, and I think the first play of the third quarter qualifies. They came right out firing. That's how you send a message to start the second half of a game.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. To throw is Winston. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. They juked him. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens, because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
A first down throw for Winston. This one taken in by Olave. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Kamara up the middle. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or two.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
3rd and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends. Here's Kamara, and he loses the football the second time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same, because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone. Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now here's Mahomes. He's going to find his running back. It's complete.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. Flushed out right. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
After the sack on the first down, Mahomes under pressure. They got him again.
A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
So once again, they dial up the pressure and get home and get a sack. It brings up a 3rd and long, but it's really not an unmakeable one, especially considering they just gave up that.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
Impressive individual effort there. No one was going to stop him around the edge.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's why if you play in a 4-3 base and you're a defensive end, that's why you get the big bucks. They count on you to do everything. Defend the run and, of course, get to the quarterback.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on 4th down. And the Saints will have the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 and the 6.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 2 straight runs of 5 yards, 1st and 10.
I know flashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game, and I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains, didn't force the ball downfield, picked it up on the ground. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown run from Alvin Kamara as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Wants to try to end the PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. After the touchdown, wants to kick it off.
McCole Hardman to return it from his end zone. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. That's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
77 yards rushing for him now to this point.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And some room to run now.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the sticks make a drastic shift forward. That's sort of a prime example, is it not, of selling out defensively on 4th and short?
It certainly is, because what you're doing defensively is saying you're going to stop them right there at the line of scrimmage or make a play on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Instead, they get just enough of a hole chopped, and you're thin on the 2nd and 3rd levels, then you become a chaser instead of a tackler.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. Steps away to his left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
He certainly did his best to find something on that run, but there just wasn't enough time to make it happen. Nice effort there, avoiding the sack and getting back to the line of scrimmage. That one certainly could have ended up worse.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move,
and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Multiple defenders.